Savior of Filgaia. There is no way that's just the end. Yeah, I was gonna say. If they wrote credits there, that would have been ridiculous. Hi, Earth Golem. Are you asleep? Alright, no, I'm not in control. You sure did well. I want to stay here with you as long as I can, but there are a lot of things left for me to do in Filgaia. The next time you wake up, I promise you will see a peaceful Filgaia. You will be surrounded by joyous people and nature. Until that day comes, good night, Earth Golem. What if they have you excavate this in like another Wild Arms game? That'd be cool. I know the Wild Arms games all take place on Filgaia, but apparently there's like, other than like a few references, they don't really connect. They don't have a continuity or anything. But like, that'd be kind of cool if they had this as a, like a throwback to people who played Wild Arms 1. Good night. I would have liked it if they gave it a name other than just Earth Golem. Like, other than calling it Earth Golem for the whole game. But again, the game was made in 1997. Oh, hey, Jack. And Rudy. Dude, I love the whistling. Rudy, sometimes I can't believe we're traveling like this. And that we've survived that huge explosion. It's pretty wild, man. I felt like I woke up and it was morning. You and the princess were preparing for the journey. That's not like you. You still don't believe in reality? Oh, I just remembered. The princess gave me a letter. She said I shouldn't read it until we left the castle. Hey, Handpin, why didn't you read it now? Me? Yes, it's your job. Oh wow, just put it on the rat, why don't you? I wonder where everyone will be when you read this letter. I wonder if it will be sunny or if it will be raining. Is that like Cecilia? Is she like dying? Maybe it's because I experienced a painful battle, but I feel very comfortable in this ordinary life. I really hope Cecilia is like not dead. Because of the protection from the Earth Golem, we were able to return to Filgaia again. However, the Earth Golem has returned to its slumber. He will never wake up again. He doesn't have to be a fighting machine anymore. Good night, Earth Golem. When you can sleep peacefully, the world is full of tender light and peace. This is how it should be, but to tell the truth, I am very lonely. I was shocked when I heard the two of you were leaving. I thought we would always be together. I will never forget the days when the weight of Filgaia was on our shoulders. We had some pretty tough times, didn't we? Pretty rough, man. If it weren't for you guys, I would have been crushed under the burden. I was able to overcome the painful journey because of you. You lent a hand to such a lonely heart. Because of that, I developed the selfish thought of the three of us always being together. I don't know if I like how detailed Rudy and Jack's faces are right now. Oh, Jack. Oh, I love this music. Hey, everyone in Adelheid. Also, Adelheid was somehow restored. Maybe they just began building it or something, and eventually it got restored. That's really the only explanation. Filgaia is not free of all the monsters. People will still need my sword. That is why I must go on. Jack, I never thought you would say such things. You must have something new within yourself. I guess I wasn't the only one whose life has changed. You two have departed on a journey because you chose to follow the new desires in your heart. Ah, my eyes. So bright. Look at the detail on Cecilia's hair. I love that. I too have decided to follow the new desires in my heart. The Princess of Adelheid shouldn't live like this, but if it's my decision as an ordinary human being, I will no longer force myself to be the perfect princess. Good for you. From now on, I'll be an ordinary 17-year-old girl. I will think hard and be honest to myself. Are you like gonna meet up with Jack and Rudy or something? I would love that. If you want to be cared by someone, you must care for someone else first. You, Rudy, taught me this lesson. I can't stand watching Filgaia deteriorate. I must do something. I want to protect what I care for. This is my new desire. Today, the west wind blew through Adelheid again. The wind which promises prosperity. I pray this wind takes my desires beyond the horizon. P.S. The two of you should be receiving something that you forgot from Adelheid soon. Don't be lazy, make sure you take it. It's Cecilia in a suitcase, imagine. So, the princess is also starting on her new journey. Where? It doesn't matter, as long as she's doing it of her own free will. I'm sure she'll turn Adelheid into a good kingdom. She used to hate royalty. She used to hate royalty so much. Well, the life of royalty is very complicated. Right, Rudy? Oh yeah, the letter mentioned something we forgot. Rudy, it must have been you. What did you forget, you careless kid? He's not like you, Jack. I wonder what it is. This is too much. You deal with it. I told you he'd be lazy. What? What are you doing here? Hey, you forgot the waifu? Am I not supposed to be here? I'm delivering to you the item that you forgot. And what is that? Haven't you figured it out yet? Yeah, come on. You guys are so slow. So, where are we going? Let's go, I love that. That's so cute. I knew Cecilia was gonna, like, join up with them after that speech. Wait a minute. You said you found what you wanted to do in your letter. What's going to happen to Adelheid? Cecilia's gotta, like, follow her heart, you know? Adelheid will be fine. You're right, Jack. I have to do something to save my precious Filgaia from deteriorating. Minister Johann will take care of Adelheid in my absence. Don't worry. I've decided to live true to the desires of my heart. We just happen to be on the same path today. Just happen to be? Today? Are you sure about this? Yes, it's a coincidence. Today, tomorrow, and forever. I guarantee it. Right, Rudy? Hey, don't leave us here. That is so cute. I love that. Oh, this would be the perfect spot to be like, hey, game over. Look, this is the land we have been protecting. It wasn't only us. There was Professor Emma, Jane, McDullen, the captain, and Marielle. The captain didn't really do all that much. He provided us a boat, every single desire that lives on Filgaia, and... I don't know if I said professor there. The captain didn't do all that much, is what I meant to say. Emma gave us an airship. Without Emma, we wouldn't be able to go to Kadingle. Surprisingly, Jane did a decent amount. But, like, the captain didn't really do that much. At the end of the day, he just gave us his ship temporarily. Very, very nice. The end. I was going to say credits. I guess there are going to be credits now because that was the end. Good ending. I really like that ending. That ending was so nice. So beautiful. Oh, hey, pictures. Is this like showing their new adventures or something? Or is this just like art of the game? Either way, I like it. I mean, I'm sure it's open to interpretation. It can be interpreted however you want. There we go! Wild Arms 1 complete. Good stuff. Also, we finished just under 4 hours, so this worked out perfectly. I like Wild Arms. I like this game. I really like the game. Honestly, I'm gonna start talking about what I don't like about the game. I've been pretty clear about it, but just in case, like, the game is a little dated. It was made in 1997. Like, the encounter rate is pretty high. It's not too egregious. Obviously, you can get annoying later in the game. You get invisible, which is kind of good for reducing it. But, I mean, you know, encounter rate could be a little lower, but it's a game from 1997. The directioning in this game is terrible. The first half of the game, the directioning is, like, classic PS1 affair, but then the second half of the game, the directioning is, like, thrown out the window. I don't know how the game expects you to know where to go to certain areas in the second half of the game. And you're probably like, oh, well, I mean, people who played the game aren't going to care, but this is my first playthrough of Wild Arms, so obviously I'm talking about it as if you're playing the game for the first time. Without any kind of guide, it can be very hard, especially in the second half, to figure out where to go. Like, I just started to use a guide when it was like, where do I go? Because the way the second half is, it was like good, but the way you go from dungeon to dungeon at times was very disjointed. Like, the game didn't really tell you like, oh, we need to go to this area to find this. It just kind of expected you to find the dungeons. Kind of like, I don't know, being like a pseudo, some kind of open world game, like, oh, just find stuff on your own, but I don't really like that. So, that's definitely some points off the game. And then that one part of Malduke got me really annoyed. Other than that, everything else in this game is pretty solid, if not just amazing. The story is simple. I think the story works well. It's nothing revolutionary. The game doesn't try to be anything more than it is. Like, it's a very simple story. The game doesn't, like, take itself seriously. The game is meant to be, like, a simple story. I think it gets that across really well. The Quarter Knights are really cool as villains. Zed's pretty funny. The humor's kind of up there. It's got some humorous moments, mostly with Zed. I like the story. I think the story's neat. It's simple. It gets its job done. It has some interesting themes as well. I really like the themes of, like, feeling alone. I think they do a pretty good job with Rudy, even though he's a silent protagonist, even though I wish Rudy wasn't a silent protagonist. Cecilia's character arc was pretty good. Jax was also pretty good. They did a good job with, like, that theme of, like, what it means to feel alone and have friends and everything, and like the trio gets along really well. They play off each other well. Again, I wish Rudy wasn't a silent protagonist, but Jack and Cecilia do well, and even Rudy, they do a decent job of making him feel like a character. Like, if I had to say, like, oh, for a silent protagonist, who would be my favorite, Rudy would be like one of the best silent protagonists if I had to pick one. But I'm always of the opinion that I'd rather them just make a non-silent protagonist. I give them credit where credit is due about Rudy. Like, they tried, and they did okay with it. And the side characters are pretty good, like Emma and Jane and McDullen. They provide some nice dialogue between the characters. Jane started to grow on me as the game went on. She was pretty cool. She did well. Her connection with Rudy was pretty good. And Emma was pretty funny at times. So, I mean, the side characters were there. They weren't, like, anything special, but they got their job done. I don't really care about Bartholomew all that much, but, like, you know. And the Quarter Knights. I don't think the Quarter Knights are, like, best villains in gaming. But they, as a group, they were pretty cool. And the idea of, like, Mother and, like, the lore between Mother and, like, Siegfried and all the other Quarter Knights. Lady Harkin's connections with Jack were pretty good. Alhazab was kind of there. Boomerang was great. I think Boomerang's, like, one of my favorite Quarter Knights. Other than just, like, Zed. But Boomerang was pretty cool. Alhazad's probably my least favorite because he didn't really have much going for him, but, you know. Overall, I think the Quarter Knights were pretty good as villains. And the game had some really nice music as well as some nice cutscenes. Specifically, I really like the scene where Cecilia goes into Rudy's dream. I think that scene was really well done. Like, this game makes you feel, man. It hits you in the feels sometimes with, like, the way Cecilia, like, oh, she started off, like, thinking, oh, it's my duty as a princess to protect Adelheid. And eventually transitioning to, like, oh, yeah, like, I'm following my heart, following my desire, doing what I want to do. And the way that they paint golems, like, golems were used as weapons, but then, like, Cecilia wanted to see the golem for more than what it was. I think for 1997, this game was it's pretty special. I like it. It's nothing groundbreaking. It doesn't do anything super crazy. As I expected, they don't show you any kind of what's it called? It doesn't save your game. I think the game, how I would best describe it is, it's nothing super groundbreaking. I'm going to stay here as I talk. It's not super groundbreaking. It doesn't do anything super, like, revolutionary. So, I mean, if you're not really a fan of older RPGs and you're like, tired of tropes, you may not get much out of this game. But, like, what it does well is pretty good. It tells a really nice story, has some nice characters. Like, it's nothing you haven't really seen before if you play a lot of RPGs, but it was nice. It was a very nice game. It was a very, very cute game for the PS1. I was thinking about, like, how I rank this as according to, like, other games or just PS1 games in general. This game isn't, like, in my trifecta or anything, but I think it would be pretty up there. It would get, like, an honorable mention. Like, if I had to think beyond Grandia, Lunar 2, Arctolad 2, I would definitely consider Wild Arms. Like, I don't know if I would put it there. Like, I don't know how close it would be, but I would consider Wild Arms, like, when I'm thinking about good PS1 RPGs, even if it has, like, some dated mechanics and the navigation's not the best. So, yeah. I probably give this game, like, a 7 out of 10, I think. I think a 7 out of 10 seems fair, because I really did enjoy this game. Maybe a 7.5. I feel like an 8 is too much, but I don't know. Anywhere from like a 7 to an 8. No higher than an 8, but also like I think a 7 is fair. Maybe a 7.5. I'm trying to think of what else to talk about. I think the Wild West motif is really good. The music is really nice. The music is honestly pretty amazing. The ambient music. The battle music's like okay. The ambient music was really, really good. I am trying to think of what else to talk about. I think that's I don't really have much to say. Like, it was a really good game. It didn't do anything like groundbreaking new for the genre, but what it does well, and if you like RPGs and don't mind about like tropes and stuff and like simple stories, I think this game is worth a shot. It is very, very good. And I look forward to playing the rest of the Wild Arms games. I want to play all the Wild Arms games. The mainline ones, we have to play 2, 3, 4, and 5. There are 5 Wild Arms games, and there's also 2 spin-offs. I believe there's something called Alter Code F, which is like a remake to the first one for PS2. I'll play that eventually, and then also Wild Arms XF. So I do want to play all the Wild Arms games, and this game, like, it was so good, I want to play the others. Like, this game was a pretty solid first entry into the Wild Arms series, and it was good enough. 7 out of 10 is really good. It's not like amazing, but that's a good game right there. It makes me want to play the others. So we're going in order. Like, I'll play the second one, the third one, the fourth one, the fifth one. I know the second and third are also on PS5 via PlayStation Network. But 4 and 5 are not, so I'll have to emulate those. But I want to play all the games. Like, this made me interested to play the rest of the games and the rest of the series. Wild Arms is a series I want to play through, and I want to just see what happens with more of them, have more opinions on the games, basically. Like, I like the theming, and I like the gameplay was like, oh, I didn't really talk about the gameplay, did I? The gameplay in this game was like fine. It was just standard turn-based, like, you know. It wasn't anything special, but the gameplay was fine. It was just kind of there. But everything else about Wild Arms was great. I enjoyed it. Now, those of you watching on YouTube, I might do more videos with Wild Arms. I'm definitely done, like, streaming Wild Arms 1. The next time I stream a Wild Arms game will be Wild Arms 2. But I might want to go back to this game to try and get the Platinum Trophy and do all the side quests. I don't know when I'm going to do that. But if I do that, I will do stuff for YouTube with it. So if people are here only on Twitch, I would highly recommend going on my YouTube channel, subscribing and following, just so you can keep on tabs on when I decide to do the post game for Wild Arms, because I am going to do it. I just don't know when. So it would just be YouTube only, because I want to stream the rest of the Wild Arms games. And, you know, also I feel like it'd be easier to have a guide in hand when I do the side quest, just because it's easier that way. But I am absolutely going to do the optional content in this game. I just don't know when, and I'll try to get the Platinum Trophy. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I greatly enjoyed Wild Arms. Hope you all did as well. And we'll get to Wild Arms 2 soon, and I want to play all the games. So, you know, we'll get them all done. That'll be fun. Yeah. Tomorrow I will do FF16, probably for 5 hours. Thursday we'll do Fire Emblem Engage, and we'll play it from there. Thank you all for watching. See you all next time.